Well, good day and welcome once again to Moments with Dr. Steve. I'm Dr. Steve Bonnenberger, and in this section, we're going to talk about AkelDeema the Saga, Volume 1, Kingdom Builders. It is my great ascent in terms of creation of human literature and storytelling to this moment. I'm still working on this. You can head over to stalegius.org, stalegius.org. And for a small contribution, you can get a copy and join in the conversation. Today, we're going to be talking about moral dissent. In this slug, we're going to talk about moral discontent. Moral discontent then fosters and blooms moral dissent. What happens? And this is an internal, not an external rage, when your soul pushes back against the very nature of the work you perform. What happens? And this is an internal hatred, not an external hatred, when your mind cannot tolerate and in fact loathes the image it sees returning in the mirror that it stares into. What happens? And this is an internal discontent, not an external discontent, when your soul says, no more. Can't do this, cannot do this anymore. Moral dissent. There are times when our lives and the life that we are living and the way that we're approaching that life, the only one we'll ever be given, by the way, simply cannot tolerate the skin or the setting or the attitudes or the approach that we are subjecting it to. Moral dissent is then that moment when our soul lament refuses to consent any longer to the setting and atmosphere and attitude we are subjecting it to. And in AkelDeema the Saga, Volume 1, Dr. Madrid Castile is perhaps one of the, if not the greatest character I ever created. And in Volume 1, Kingdom Builders, we're introduced to this character that finds her life, the way she's living that life, the attitudes and approaches that created and sustained and fomented that life, she finds them to become reprehensible. And when her soul descent is at a stage where she can no longer tolerate the image that returns to her in the mirror, she chooses a different life. When the soul descends, oh my goodness, lives change in an instant, in the twinkling of an eye. When the soul descends, lives, vector, and settings, and people, and jobs, and careers are jettisoned. When the soul descends, lives disassemble. Things that were glue lose their adhesive power. When the soul descends, lives reorder. New people are arriving. New ways are recast. New attitudes and approaches become formulative. When the soul descends, lives are reclaimed. Real life becomes possible because the soul begins to align with its internal light. The question for this hour, are you listening and locked into those interior feelings that simply disrespect and disregard everything you are? And then they challenge you directly to find and muster the internal courage to permit moral dissent to arrive and to have its proper way with you. Wow. Find out about Dr. Madrid Castile and her moral dissent. Go to stalegius.org, pick up a copy of Kingdom Builders, and let's start to chat about what's going on inside of you. We're building a GCC, a global cultural conversation. Head over to stalegius.org, drop us a note, join our community, and allow your moral dissent to support the real you. Do this for yourself and for the rest of us. Till next time, I am Dr. Steve Bonnenberger, and this is Moments with Dr. Steve. Travel far.